Well, hello there.
Hey. How's it going?
Good. It's like Obi-Wan Kenobi.
What?
Like Obi-Wan Kenobi. Hello there. That's like the big thing that everyone talks about. Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I was told that I looked like Obi-Wan Kenobi the other day.
How'd that make you feel?
Fine. It wasn't really the look I was going for, which I told the guy that too. I'm like, it's not really what I'm going for, but I appreciate it.
It's the eyes for sure.
The eyes. And then he asked me what part of the UK I'm from. I'm like,
Did he really?
yeah.
You were like, and Avada Kedavra. You're dead to me. Just kidding.
Lightsaber.
Oh, yeah.
Just
Wrong
kidding.
reference.
Yeah. That's okay. No, but it was funny. I was just in Lowe's and they, one of the employees like, hey, you look like Obi-Wan Kenobi. Thanks.
Have you seen those memes where it's like Obi-Wan Kenobi is in people's houses and they think it's Jesus?
Yes. Yes.
You look like Jesus.
Oh, there we go.
Ginger Jesus.
The one and only.
Anyway.
Just kidding.
Hey, you want to hear a joke?
I love jokes. Sorry, I'm kidding.
I didn't even get a chance.
Go ahead.
Why are leprechauns hard to get along with?
Is it because they're short-tempered?
Yeah.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Yes. Sorry. I won't ruin the rest of them.
No, it's fine. It's fine. I mean, that's why you asked the question, is to get an answer, so.
Yeah, but with jokes it's different. Anyway.
Why did the leprechaun cross the road on red?
On red?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
To get to the pot of gold faster.
I don't get it.
It's like you when you run a red light because you're impatient and you don't want to wait.
Oh, okay. I get it.
Except
okay.
for you, it's more of like you just want to get home to be with your wife.
Naturally.
What did one leprechaun ghost say to the other?
What?
Top of the moanin', do ya?
Like moan.
Oh, okay, those are terrible.
I loved it.
You have any jokes for me?
I didn't look any up.
No, that's okay. I was wondering if you were naturally funny.
My life.
Oh.
Just
Good
kidding.
one.
No, we have a good life. We have a good life.
Do we?
I think so.
Yeah, I think so.
Well, welcome back, everyone, to another listeners episode. Wow, I just stumbled on my words. Another listeners episode. This time it is March. This is listener episode 5.
Yeah.
Wow.
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 Next month we'll have to use 2 hands.
Dang it.
Yeah. Are you ready to dive in?
Yeah, whenever you are.
Mm-hmm. These stories are mostly from Reddit again.
Thanks,
we
Reddit.
Did get a send in.
It's okay. Reddit is open source.
Yeah. It's what?
Open source.
What does that mean?
I feel like I say that. Maybe I don't say it every time. I think it every time.
What does that mean?
Just like open to the public. Just.
Oh, yeah. That's why I use it.
Yeah, I know. I appreciate it. Like Wikipedia.
Which is always true and completely accurate.
Yes. Speaking of Wikipedia, there was something funny that I saw where it was like there was this guy who, this was a joke. I don't think this was a real paper. Maybe it was. I don't know. But it was a guy who did a paper on plagiarism and he copied a whole Wikipedia document about plagiarism and then deleted the the article.
Nice.
Yeah. Because you can do that. You know, you can edit. It's available to the public.
Yeah.
You don't have to be admin or anything to that like that.
I saw something on Wikipedia the other day that was very incorrect. I don't remember what it was, but I was like, that is... Everyone knows that's wrong. But I don't remember what it was. Dang it. If I remember, I'll let you know.
Okay. Was it while you were researching?
I don't remember.
Was it something different?
I don't remember.
Oh, okay.
Huh.
But yeah,
Anywho.
let's dive in without further ado. So, our first listener story this month is from, I'm guessing this is a Reddit one, from Blia.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Thanks, Blia. When I was about 5 years old, my grandmother took me to her cousin's house. She had this long hallway who had no source of natural light, so it was always semi-dark. They went to the room at the end of the hallway. I wanted to go to the bathroom, which was located in the middle of the hallway. I did my business, got out, and my eyes laid on this big pendulum clock. I looked at it for a moment, and then smoke started coming out of it. Whoa. It looked like cigarette smoke, that bluish, greyish colour. It formed a silhouette. Oh, the upper part of the body was very well formed, while the feet of the man were mostly smoke. He looked at me and asked, "How are you, Blia?" I shrugged, replied, "Good," and then went to my grandmother and her cousin to tell them about the man in the clock. They obviously laughed it off. I know it was real, I'm sure of it. Growing up, I don't know why, but the impression that man from the clock was the cousin's deceased dad grew more and more on me. I never met him, though. He died before I was born. I stopped telling people this story at one point because it sounds absolutely ridiculous. That's kind of creepy.
Oh, so I forgot to mention all of these stories have a common theme. So I want to see if you could guess what the theme is.
Well, so far I'm guessing ghosts.
Good guess. Okay. So this next one is by ask_if_I'm_penguin.
Ask if I'm penguin.
Yep.
I like it.
Don't forget the underscores.
Okay, my bad.
Okay, so they said, I was kidnapped by a man in a Moroccan souk when I was a kid whilst on holiday with my parents. I was taken down various alleyways and intentionally disoriented. I managed to escape after lots of running around, managed to find my way back to the entrance where my parents were. They told me off for, quote, running away from them. They still think the story is BS and nobody else believes me.
Why wouldn't you believe that?
Because he was kidnapped and made it back.
Okay. Yeah, I guess that happens.
Thanks, penguin.
Ask. No, I'm not going to do the whole thing. Never mind. All right. This next one is by just sitting by here, buddy.
What?
It's all one word.
You added a word in there.
Just sitting here, buddy.
You said just sitting by here, buddy.
Oh, sorry. I stumbled over my words again. Just sitting here, buddy. I tripped off a 3-story building, caught, quote unquote, myself on the escape ladder, flung myself into a dumpster, and dislocated my shoulder. That's it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Are you catching on the theme yet?
Tragedy. I don't know.
All right, we'll move on. This next one is by On the Good Side of Life. I had a total blackout for at least 5 minutes as a teen. I was acting totally normal from the outside, but for me, I just remember starting moving, seeing the blackout arriving, thinking, oh crap, then waking up 5 minutes later in the middle of the diner with my grandparents while saying a sentence I still don't know the beginning of. What triggers me the most is apparently I was saying something very interesting without any consciousness. I really wonder what it was. I have asked my grandmother the next day, and she doesn't exactly remember, just that it was really fascinating and about science. I was really into science as a teen.
Nerd. Just kidding.
Are you confused?
Yeah. I'm trying to look for a pattern, but maybe I'm thinking too hard on it.
All right, let's read like
A couple more?
couple more,
Okay.
and then I'll tell you if you can't get it.
Okay. Where are we at? All right, next one is by Ty Pete. As a kid, I woke up in the middle of the night to see my grandfather at the foot of my bed looking at me. I looked away to turn the light on, and he was gone. Then the phone rang to let us know he had died of a heart attack unexpectedly 300 kilometers away. I am a skeptic. I don't believe in telepathy, life after death, etc. But this is something that is still nagging me 40 years later. Man, you old. I'm just kidding.
Okay.
Well, paranormal is definitely something in here.
Sure.
More or less,
Sure.
but... Okay, continue.
All right, this next one is by Bumpy Denny 93. They said, when I was 4 years old, I saw my mom almost get stabbed. My mom had a friend named Berla. Berla was an alcoholic of the highest variety. Verla was still a good person in spite of it. If you knew Verla, you would agree with me. Anyway, there was a situation where CPS was called on my mom, and my mom found out that it was Verla who did it. Verla got really upset because she thought that my mom would do something to her because of it, and well, Verla got drunk one night and tried to stab my mom. All I remember, I was up one night watching the Keenan Ivory weigh-in show, and I heard all of this commotion and went to the window because me and my mom lived in this tiny apartment, and I saw Verla outside. Verla was disheveled AF, and she was very drunk, and she had a big butcher knife in her hand, and Dorsey was basically holding her back. Dorsey, new character entering in the story. Dorsey was Verla's common law husband who hated me with a passion because I knew he was full of crap. Anyway, the one thing besides Dorsey that stopped my mom from being stabbed was that there was a silver door that had to be locked at night. My mom lived right next to the laundry room, and if anyone wanted to get in there, they had to go through that door, and it was locked tight. After some dust had settled, my mom and Verla eventually went back to being friends and acted like the stabbing thing never happened. Nobody believes me when I tell them this story, nor do they believe me that the Keenan Ivory Wayne show ever existed. Dude was trying to be Letterman, and the show lasted for a year or two.
Yeah, I mean, I've never heard of it.
Okay, so we are about halfway through these stories. The first one, the weird shadow thing that came out of the clock.
Yeah.
If I were to tell you that happened, what would you think?
I don't know. I mean, I'd believe you because I don't think you would make something like that up if you were serious.
Huh, okay. Interesting.
But,
what about...
sorry, continue.
What about if I told you I got kidnapped?
I don't know about that one. I'd have to take your word for it because I trust you. And you're not really one to lie to me. I know you well enough for that.
What if I told you I caught myself on a fire escape after falling off of a building?
Yeah.
You'd believe me?
Yeah.
Okay. Same thing with the blackout?
Yeah. Let's just say, I'd believe you on any of these things.
Okay. Do you get the common theme?
No.
The theme of these stories is things that have happened that nobody believes.
Okay.
So, tell me a story that has happened to you that nobody actually believes happened.
Oh. Okay. Got it. Which one was it? The third one kind of threw me off with that because it never said anything about no one believing him about the story. But
yeah, it's okay. It's just the story.
Yeah.
It's just the
But that makes sense. I gotcha. Keenan Ivory weigh-ins.
I don't even know if that's real.
I don't know either. That's kind of funny. When I saw that, I was thinking more Dick Van Dyke Show or something like that. But
I'm gonna Google it.
Okay. No, that's super interesting though, because there are a ton of things that I can't say a ton, but there are some things that I've experienced that people are like, no, I don't believe you and everything like that. One example, so we talked about this on the podcast previously, but when I was in Bulgaria, we went to that old fortress that was turned into a tourist attraction. We went to one of the cells around there, and I took the 2 pictures in the pitch black cell. Do you remember the story?
Mm-hmm.
And it's in one of the pictures, it's the exact same shot, seconds apart. In the one shot, it looks like a face, and then in the next, it's gone. And I showed my brother that, and he's like, "Oh no, that's not real. You're imagining that." I'm like, "That's a face, dude."
Yeah.
But just stuff like that.
Yeah. So the Keenan Ivory Wayne show does exist.
Oh, okay.
It was in 1997, and it lasted for 2 seasons. It was a talk show.
Oh, okay.
So clearly, this person also almost saw their mom get stabbed because they don't lie.
Mm-hmm. Why would you?
All right. Do you want to read the next one?
I would love to read the next one.
Remember, the theme is things that have happened to you that people don't believe.
Cool. Okay. So, this one is by Micah3. I gate crashed a mafia birthday party. Okay.
The end. Just kidding.
I arrived at a restaurant for dinner a year after I'd moved to the country. I was with a couple of friends who were new to the area. The owner came out and said that they were closed. He said it was me and asked... Oh, he saw it was me, sorry. He saw it was me and asked me to wait. A security man spoke in his ear and we were allowed in. He explained there was a private party going on, but we were welcome guests. Luckily for me, the birthday boy, scary mafia man, was the owner of a bar I frequented and greeted me warmly. I had fun. I thought it best not to tell the two new holiday reps I was with what was going on until we were leaving. They freaked out, but I then pointed out that weirdly it was pretty safe in there as there was a lot of armed security.
Interesting.
Wait, so hold on. Okay, never mind. Sorry. I
What?
thought it was saying like the mafia man owned that bar, but it says owned a bar.
Yeah.
So okay, never mind. Interesting.
How freaky would that be?
Like, why would a mafia birthday party go to a bar that's heavily secured by security? What country was that in? Doesn't say.
I think they were meaning that the mafia was the security.
Oh. Oh, I need to go to bed.
But can you imagine like starting off a story like that? Yeah, like I gate crashed a mafia birthday party.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
All right, so this next one is by Kourtney.
Love it.
When my mom went into a Little Caesars in one of those strip mall kind of deals, she left me and my brother in the truck at the parking lot. Suddenly, my brother and I heard a loud ringing in the store, 2 stores down from us, and gunshots, along with "Everybody on the ground now!" So my brother and I ducked down on the floor, and I heroically tell him, "Stay here. I'm gonna go get mom so we can leave." I then proceeded to jump out the window my mom left open because it was a hot summer's day. I ran into the store. When I got to her, she told me to go get my brother since I was already in the store with her. So I went back out to the truck and he was still cowering on the floor, and I rushed him inside. Despite both of us claiming the robbery was real, my mom didn't believe us, and we waited 20 minutes for our pizza before casually walking to the car. To this day, I don't know if the guy was still in the store or was long gone by the time we drove off, but no one ever believes the story. Or if they do, my mom's usually around to claim otherwise.
You know, I was going to say before, like, it almost kind of seems like it's a Mandela effect, more or less, because it's something that you know that you've experienced, but people are like, no, you're crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway. Cool. Because that last story especially kind of seems like one. But why were they waiting 20 minutes for a pizza
I don't know.
at Little Caesars?
I mean, they're probably kids. It's probably 5 minutes that felt like 20 minutes.
Oh, maybe. But yeah, that happens a lot. Okay, this next one is by Locksmith Suspicious 1. I slipped on a banana peel yesterday, but my relatives said it's bullcrap because it only happens in cartoons.
It's true.
No, it happened in How I Met Your Mother.
That makes it real, just like with Wikipedia.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. No, they were testing the banana peel theory, and Barney slipped on it, and he saved a girl. He saved a girl's life because he slipped into her while she was choking on some food.
Oh,
Yeah.
right.
Yep.
Very nice. Would you believe that one?
Maybe, I don't know.
I would.
Maybe I'm too trusting of people.
Maybe.
Maybe.
All right. So this next one is from Aki Tricks. I saw Captain Holt of Brooklyn Nine-Nine hula hooping and dancing. No one believes me. I need more context, man. Where were you? Why was he hula hooping and dancing?
Maybe they found the deleted footage.
Ooh.
Because that happened. Do you remember that episode?
Uh-uh.
So Captain Holt, it's like one of the intro things, I'm pretty sure.
Uh-huh.
But like Captain Holt comes up and, or they were asking Captain Holt like why he was late for something. I can't remember exactly the context. But anyway, Captain Holt goes up to Jake and he's like, actually I was like hula hooping and dancing, and like he like shows him a video. And Jake's like, oh. And he's like, wait, why would you tell me this? He's like, and then he deletes it. He's like, because no one's going to believe you.
Yes. I wonder if that's what they're talking about.
Maybe.
That's so funny. Okay.
All right. Next one is by, I'm guessing it's supposed to be Snowbirds 2922. Yeah, Snowbirds 2922. When I was a little kid, we didn't have AC. So we opened the windows and the sounds from outside would come inside. Do you remember that?
Yes. The no AC life.
Yep. Well, one night I woke up to a buzzing sound around 2 a.m. A very loud buzzing sound. So I got up and investigated. I went out to my back porch, and in the park behind my house in a giant field was something. It was big, round, and had lots of lights. At the time, I figured it must have been a blimp, like at the sporting, like a kind of sporting events, like the kind of sporting events. So I went to bed. When I woke up, I realized that there was no way it could have been a blimp. It was, it has to have been a UFO. No one believes me when I say I saw a UFO.
I mean, technically, it was an unidentified flying object, or so you think.
Yeah.
So,
Because it doesn't have to be alien spacecraft.
I believe you. Snowbirds 2922. That's all that matters.
It's the government.
Yeah, it's the lizard people.
It's the Chinese spy balloon.
Oh, jeez.
Just kidding.
All right, this next one is by Royal Wolf 96. We have a deer head on our wall. There is an oil lamp below it, which is made of glass and has a base and a removable glass cover to hide the wick. It's a very thin glass. 8 feet away is a couch. Our family went outside one summer, came inside, the deer head was upside down on our couch, and the glass cover of the lamp was sitting upright perfectly beside it, wedged between the oil lamp and the candle. How the hell that happened, I don't know.
That'd be so creepy.
I know. I would have so many things going through my mind. First of all, aliens. Second of all, intruder.
Oh, my thought was poltergeist first off,
Ooh, poltergeist. Yeah, that's a good one.
rather than
Ooh,
aliens.
creepy.
But I figured there'd be more damage. But I mean, what movie is it when they walk into the room and there's a bunch of the chairs stacked up on one another? That's not poltergeist, right? Is that
I
poltergeist?
don't know. I haven't seen. Oh, maybe I have seen poltergeist. I don't remember. I don't know which one that is.
I don't know. It's a scary movie, but like they walk out of the room and come back in and the chairs are all stacked up.
Creepy.
Kind of seems like one of those things.
Okay. All right. So that is the last of the stories that no one would believe series.
Cool.
I included a St. Patrick's Day themed one that is entitled My Father's Encounter with What I Think Was a Leprechaun. And that one is by... I did not write down their name.
Anonymous.
Anonymity. Just kidding.
We have trouble with that word.
All right, so this one goes, my father grew up in the mountain hills of Jalisco, Mexico. Hopefully that said that right. Whatever. During his childhood, they grew up in a small adobe house and had to help with work to bring money or food home. One night after making it home from working with my grandfather, he went to sleep. He was awoken by what he recalled just a small person that asked him to put on his shoes and follow him. He had something he wanted to give him, but they had to go on a walk to where it was. Ooh, creepy. My father said he put his shoes on and followed into the trees past a field, small creek, and arrived to a tree. This little person points at the foot of the tree, tells my father the treasure is there and it's for him. Where? My father replies, in the ground. I have a treasure I would like you to have. This is so disturbing.
That's a good sign.
He awoke on his bed mat at home in the morning, confused. He looks over and notices his shoes had some mud. He ends up telling one of his brothers what had happened and that they should go over and dig that treasure out. They arrive to the location. The tree stood there just like in my father's dream. They begin to dig, and after a couple hours, they were tired and giving up. The dirt is hard, and they have digged about 1.5 meters down, maybe even a little more. They were around the age of 9 and not that tall, so for them, the hole looked really deep. They headed home disappointed. Around a year passes, and a rancher nearby all of a sudden has become really wealthy. No one around knows from where or how he came to all of this, as he was as poor and worked just as everyone around the area. People started telling their own versions of how they believe he came to this amount of money. One of the tells mentioned that he came across a treasure. My father, hearing this, remembers his treasure that he never dug up and heads over as soon as he gets the chance. To my father's surprise, the hole looked like it had been dug up not too long ago, maybe about 0.5 meter before, or 0.5 meter more. If they would have just dug a little more down, that treasure would have been theirs. But then I don't think I would have been here for his life. Would have gone in a different direction.
The story had some pretty poor grammar.
Yeah, it's Reddit.
Yeah, it's Reddit. Interesting. Yeah, that's crazy.
Leprechaun. If someone comes into your room at night and tells you to follow them,
Don't
scream
follow
for
them.
help.
Yes, don't follow them.
Unless it really is like a little 2-foot green man.
Yeah, but like even then, that's kind of you're
Sketch.
hallucinating. Go back to sleep. That's a story I wouldn't believe. I wouldn't
But
believe
that
that
one's
story.
the most true.
I don't believe it.
Just kidding. All right. We do have one last story. Actually, it's technically a two-parter
From one person.
from one person. And so this one is the one that was actually sent in from Alyssa. And I'll let you read the first one. I'll read the second one.
Sounds good. All right. Alyssa says, "Hello, people of the podcast. I have 2 stories for you."
What?
So this is story 1.
Okay.
When I was 16, I got to go on Pioneer Trek. It was a lot of fun pulling handcarts dressed as pioneers, dancing, singing, playing games, just overall a good time. In my family, quote unquote family, we made it a rule that whoever was at the front of our handcart had to watch the ground ahead and call out if there were any holes coming up because we didn't want the people in the back to break an ankle by accidentally stepping in one. We would say, hole on the left/right/center. At one point, I was in the back pushing the handcart. The people up front were not paying attention, and I stepped in a hole, a deep one. I stepped in it just right that my foot went in and out without me even noticing until about 5 seconds later. I looked behind me to make sure I had been right in what just happened, and sure enough, there was a deep hole that people in the groups behind us were avoiding. I don't know how it happened, but I didn't even seem like I had stepped in it, even though I can clearly recall my foot going right in the hole.
Dang. That is really lucky, actually, because she could have broken an ankle.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that would be, yeah.
We had been requesting, like, lucky stories to go with, like, Luck of the Irish theme, whatever, and that's what her theme is, so that is definitely lucky.
Oh, for sure.
All right, story 2 from Alyssa. I love live theater, and my favorite community/professional theater is called Hale Center Theater. I grew up going to almost every show with my family. One of my favorite shows was called The Nerd.
It's about me.
It is about, you guessed it, a nerd who outstays his welcome when he is staying with an old friend of his. It is hilarious. It is a hilarious play, and when I saw it, I laughed so hard I was crying. I think 2017, I saw that the Hale Theater was doing that play again, and they were giving away 2 free tickets on New Year's Eve. When I saw the post on Facebook, it was the last day that someone could enter to win. I thought, what the heck? I never win any of these anyway. It won't hurt. About 2 days later, on my way to work, I got a call from a number I didn't know, but I answered it anyway. I don't suggest doing this in general. Same.
Millennials. Just kidding.
I had won the tickets. I was so excited. I decided to take my cousin Lindsay, who is in town from Michigan, for Christmas. She and I got giant cookies and soda from the concession stand and had a blast laughing until we cried. Love your podcast and love you guys.
Well, thanks, Alyssa.
Awesome sauce. Just kidding. Love you too.
I've been to the Hale Center Theater once,
Oh, you have?
and it was to see Les Mis.
Ooh.
It was great. It was awesome. Loved it.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
The Nerd. Story of Myles' life. That's cool. I love stories like that where you finally win something. I don't know if I've ever actually won any sweepstakes or something like that.
I don't think I have either. I've entered a few because, like, you know, what the heck? It's free. All that they want is an email. I can unsubscribe later.
Yeah.
So, and I only do it to, like, you know, accredited companies like Sony. Every now and then they'll have sweepstakes for, like, giving away, you know, free game consoles or TVs or just accessories and stuff like that.
Yeah, for sure.
And I already get their emails anyway, so I'm just like, yeah, why not?
Might as well, yeah.
Yeah.
I always enter in the ones that are on, like, Instagram and Facebook where it's like, repost this to your story for a chance to win, and I'm like, that would be super cool, but it's probably not going to happen, and it never has.
Yeah.
My mom has won a few things off of the radio before.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's kind of cool.
Back when that was a popular thing to do, call into the radio.
Back before podcasting, I mean, was radio. Just kidding.
Well, thank you for your stories, Alyssa, and all of Reddit.
Yeah. Do you have any lucky stories?
Lucky, not really. Unbelievable, yes.
Let's hear 'em.
Well, I married this guy who has red hair and is Australian, and he also speaks Bulgarian.
Sounds like a punk.
It's true. He is a punk. No, I'm just kidding. Uh, um, no, there was one I was gonna say. I don't remember it.
Yeah, actually.
Okay, let's hear yours.
I have one that I actually wanted to share.
Is this like a lucky story or like an unbelievable one?
I would say it's more lucky.
Okay.
And I don't know. You'd have to put into perspective, like to actually understand it. But I consider it very lucky.
Mm-hmm.
So there was before ski season and everything. It was during the winter. Ski season.
Oh, sorry.
It was outside of the season for
Okay.
skiing and everything. So it was my parents, my brother, and my little sister. We decided to go up to. This was when we were living in Utah. We decided to go up to one of the like ski resorts and just go sledding.
Mm-hmm.
Little fun, and we brought this. I think it was a tube that was supposed to be for like boating. You know, the boats, the tubes that you tie on the back of the boat. I'm pretty sure it was for that, but it had a slick bottom, so we decided to bring it because it would have gone really fast.
Sure.
And this hill that we went to, it was I didn't even want to guess how, because it's probably going to be off, but I want to say like maybe 300 feet.
Okay.
Like as far as the slope goes.
Sure.
But anyway, so I was the first one to ride this thing. This little, we had a couple of other sleds besides this one, but I'm like, I want to try this one. So this tube. So I took that one up, and then I went down, and this thing was going really fast. And at the bottom, it had there was a building, and it had like kind of an outside, I guess, dining area. So there were like a metal fence, and then tables and chairs and everything. Only thing is, like, it wasn't that far away from where the slope ended. So we
Okay.
kind of like bottomed out pretty
Yeah.
close to it. Anyway, so I was going down in this tube. I was picking up really good speed, but I couldn't tell because snow was going up in my eyes. I could feel that I was going really fast, but I couldn't see where I was going. Snow just kept like kicking up into my face. But I heard my parents yelling off in the distance, and I think they have a video of it on Facebook, but you can't actually see what happens. Maybe I'll show you later. But anyway, so I hear them yelling, but I thought they were like just going like woo, like keep it up. But the very last minute, and I was going really fast, keep in mind. The very last minute, I like got off, and I barely bumped into this metal gate. But if I had kept going at that speed, I would have hit that metal fence rather. I would have hit that metal fence like pretty hard.
Oof.
I don't know how much damage it would have done, but like that story is one of those things. I'm like, that was
Lucky.
a really lucky day because I could have.
Very lucky, yeah.
I don't know if I would have got that badly hurt, but based on the speed I was going and how hard I hit the fence, even just after getting off, like it was barely in the nick of time.
Yeah.
It was insane.
That is insane.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I have two stories. One is actually they're both unbelievable, quote unquote.
Okay.
So this one it's not really my story, but it happened to my family. So we used to have this cat. I'm pretty sure this was Goliath was the name of the cat. I'm pretty sure.
Was he a big cat?
Yeah, it was big fat chunker.
Nice.
Anyways, my mom was leaving the house one day and she ran over Goliath
Oh.
by accident and killed him. And so she called my brother, Logan, and was like, Logan, I need you to go take care of the cat. Go bury him in the backyard. Like, I accidentally killed him. Because, you know, my parents, they live on 10 acres. And so we have pretty much like a pet cemetery in the backyard of just like, you know, barn cats and things like that have passed away.
Yeah.
And so, like, it was sad, but she was like, all right, this is life. Like, we need to take care of it so that it's not just sitting there. So he goes home and he gets a trash bag and takes the cat out to the backyard and buries it. And then later that night, I don't remember which one of it was, but one of them goes to the front door and opens it, and Goliath is sitting on the porch.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
And both my mom and Logan were like, what the heck? And Logan was like, nope, I buried that cat. That cat is dead. But the cat that was looking at them was Goliath, and he was very much not dead. So they don't know whose cat they killed, but there is a dead cat in the backyard who they thought was Goliath.
That's whack.
I think the real Goliath ended up running away at some point. But a lot of barn cats do that, where they kind of just like move on and find like a new home.
Mm-hmm.
So, R.I.P. neighbor's cat.
Yeah, it was a while ago. I'm sure they're over it.
I hope so.
Did you have another one?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So this is one that I like to insert whenever we play games like Two Truths and a Lie,
Mm-hmm.
because people don't actually believe that it happened, but it did. I jumped on Queen Elizabeth's bed.
What?
True story.
I don't believe you. I'm just kidding.
Have I told you this story before?
Yeah, I think so.
Basically what happened is my family, we lived in England because my dad was in the military, and so we were stationed there, and while we were there, we were the ultimate tourists. And at one point we were able to tour the castle, the Queen's castle, and they of course had different rooms roped off that you can like look into, but you couldn't go into because people actually lived there.
Mm-hmm.
And we came up to the Queen's room, and I was little, like Harper's age, little, and maybe a little bit older, I'm not sure. And I ran underneath the rope and went and jumped on the bed, and I don't think I actually got on top of the bed, but I think I just like hit it, and all of these alarms started sounding, and all these like beefeaters, which are like the stereotypical British soldiers with like the big hats and everything, and the big guns, they came and like were pointing their guns at me. And my parents of course were like freaking out behind the rope, and my mom said that one of the guards got on his little radio and was like, it's just a little girl, and they were like, yep, we'll take her, we're gonna go. And so they left the tour early.
I probably would too.
Yep. Be like, and we'll just see ourselves out. Thanks though. But yeah, now forever I get to say that I jumped on the Queen's bed.
There you go.
Yep.
How many people can say that besides the Queen?
I also can say that I fell off a castle wall.
Oh.
I think it was like 3 feet. But still. I got dropped. And we got locked inside castle grounds on a tour. I think that might have been...
you told me that story.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that was the same tour or not, but we did get locked inside castle grounds. Did I tell that story on this podcast? I feel like I did.
You might have. I know you told me.
Yeah, well, if I
then.
didn't, basically what happened is we stayed past closing time and we didn't realize it. And so when we got to the gate to leave, it was locked and it was very tall. And so my dad and my uncle had to climb over it and then like toss us over the fence to get to the parking lot. Once got the cops called on us for having a party in a high school when I was like 7.
Mm-hmm.
But my grandpa was the vice principal, so he had keys.
Oh.
And so we
piece of power. I love it.
We had like a family reunion party at this high school, and then I guess an alarm accidentally got tripped, and so the police were on their way. And I remember my mom telling me like, the police are coming, and I flipped out. And my uncle Brandon actually, because I remember like running to grab my shoes and was like, we gotta go, the police are coming. And Brandon like picked me up. He's like, Kourtney, are you okay? And I was like crying, and my mom was like, I scared her, she's fine, like just let her grab her shoes.
Yeah, that's funny. That's funny.
I had a fun childhood.
Yeah, you did. There were a couple of ones. I told you the story of like when I got stabbed in the chest.
Yes, but I don't remember it.
Okay. So basically what happened, I was making my bed. I was a teenager.
Oh, yes, I heard
my
this
bed.
story. Oh.
So I was a teenager and I was making my bed. Big surprise there, right? And I was, we had, our light fixtures were the ones that kind of hung a little bit from the ceiling. So there was a little gap between the actual fixture itself and the ceiling.
Uh-huh.
And it was a square. Anyway, and the ceilings weren't that tall. I slept in the basement, and the ceilings wasn't that tall. But anyway, I was flipping my sheets, trying to get them all straightened out and everything, and then I went to go flip it, but I flipped it like really close to my light, and I flipped it hard, and the light fixture just came, like it just shattered, and I'm like, oh, that's weird. And then I looked down, and I was shirtless at the time. I looked down, and there was a bit of glass sticking out of my chest. I still have a scar from it. And my little sister, she lived across the hall from me. It was kind of like a square, but she lived on the other side of the basement, and we could see
each other. Yep.
And she comes out of her room, and she looks at me. She's like, "What happened?" And I look, and I pull the piece of glass out, and like starts trickling blood down. And she's like, "Mom!" She runs upstairs, and I follow her. I'm just like, that was weird. I'm pretty sure adrenaline. I didn't really feel much because of adrenaline and everything. But like,
the fact that
I went
you
upstairs.
pulled it out just grosses me out so bad.
And she's like, "Oh no!" So she went into super mum mode. And our neighbor across the street was he was a veterinarian, so I guess my parents think I'm an animal of some sort. Just kidding. And he comes across and he looks at it, and it's like, well, you know, I'm a veterinarian and everything, but like you were pretty close to hitting a major artery. I'm like,
oh, that's so freaky.
Yeah, still got the scar.
Yep.
As a kid though, like in primary school or elementary school for y'all Americans.
The y'all was a good touch there.
Yeah. No, when I was really young in primary school, I don't know what the deal was, but very occasionally, more than normal, I would get hit in the head with a basketball. And you laugh, but I remember because that year I actually...
You laugh, but it was traumatic.
It was traumatic. It explains a lot. I'm just kidding. No, I might be remembering this incorrectly, but what I remember is we had a school concert every year, kind of the end of the year school concert. There was and we it wasn't a huge primary school either. It was like maximum 80 kids throughout grade prep to 6.
Sure.
Anyway, so that same year I won an award, and my teacher mentioned something about me getting hit in the head with basketballs. My parents probably have a video of it somewhere. They recorded all those ones.
They're like, so this poor kid.
Yeah, so that's more unlucky. And at that same primary school, I almost got injured like a couple times. Like, we had these like every school has a playground, and we had this kind of cubby house, and it had a fireman pole, and I fell out from the little doorway with the fireman pole.
Yeah.
And like I caught myself right before I hit the ground. That was kind of funny.
Dang. Spider-Man?
Spider-Man. Call Marvel. I'm just kidding. Now I've had a couple of like close calls kind of like that. But yeah.
Dang. Well, I'm happy that you've survived your childhood.
Thanks.
And didn't bleed out after you stabbed yourself and
yeah.
Didn't get brain damage from all the basketballs hitting you in the head, and
yeah.
Also didn't run into a pole. I mean, a gate when you were sliding down the hill.
Yes, that's true. Things definitely could have been worse, but... Well, thank you, Reddit users and Alyssa, for contributing to our listener story again this month.
Fifth one. I like the listener story episodes. They're fun to do.
It's fun listening to, like... I was going to say actual people, but I mean, the stories we do are actual people, too. It's just...
Yeah, but like from their account of it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's nice not having to do the research.
Yes, just reading. That is very nice.
Cool. Well, our next listener story will be April Fool's Day. So,
psych.
If you have any goopy, silly stories.
Dude, fun stories of April Fools. I have a good one already.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Well, we'll save it for next month.
Do you want to hear it now?
No.
I'm just kidding. No, I'll save it for next month, but it's really good.
I believe you. Don't forget it. Write it down.
Okay. No, this is one of the April Fool's ones that I always remember. Every time you mention April Fool's Day, this is one of the ones that pops in my mind.
Ooh.
So like I don't even think I'll need to write it down, but
get ready.
Yeah. It wasn't my prank, but it was a prank that happened to me.
Ooh, beautiful.
Yeah.
Cool.
So stay tuned for next month's listener story.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so speaking of all these things that people don't believe, I saw this, I think it was a tweet that totally freaked me out. And it was like, what if you're home alone with your dog and the dog just stands up and looks at you and with a human voice says, no one's going to believe you. And they go back to being a dog. And I was like, I'm traumatized at the thought of that.
Well, if it makes you feel better, dogs' mouths aren't they're not equipped to speak human language, despite what you see on Scooby Doo.
Just, I don't know. Tell that to Doug on Family Guy.
You mean Brian?
Yeah, who's Doug?
I don't know.
Isn't there a Doug the dog?
Not on Family Guy.
Okay, we'll tell that to Brian. Oh, I need sleep.
Yeah, it's getting late.
All right, everyone. Don't forget to wash your socks.
Thanks.
Clean out your ears.
And there isn't anything at the end of the rainbow.
Hey, don't tell people that. They need something to believe in.
And don't follow funny men that come into your room at 2 a.m.
Yeah, please don't. Lock your window. Jeez.
And doors.
All right. Bye.
Bye.